Howdy hey, howdy ho. Welcome to the very first game of the Human Flavor's Bigbad City Domination game, where your scores are going to help these various clans control Big Bad City. This is all based in my lit RPG world, the Human Flavor game world and novels. First novel, Hungry Hungry Horrors, is available at humanflavor.com or on Amazon. So check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, you're here to play a game. If you don't know the rules for this particular roll and write game, check out the video for that. Links down below. Otherwise, let's get going, shall we? So today, I am playing with the Infernal Clan sheet. So that's got the red Demon Devil Infernal Clan over here on the side, which puts Celestials in the top, the Fey Folk sort of in the middle, the Mystics down at the bottom left, the Ferals on the bottom right, and the Undead on the side. So, at some point in this game, 3 of the meeples from this bag full of chunky meeples are going to be drawn and killed during round 2, at the beginning of round 2, 4, and 6, and whichever clans are in that, are represented by those, their scores, no matter where they are on here, including my own Infernals, could be negative for this game, so keep that in mind. What we're going to be doing today is the same as we'll be doing every week. So if you're playing along, you've got 1 week from today's air date. Check the timestamp or the time down below, the date down below. You've got 1 week from today to copy and paste the score form down below in the comments. Fill in your scores from whatever sheet you're playing. You do not have to be playing the Infernal sheet. You can play any of the 6. The sheets are downloadable at humanflavor.com, link down below. So it doesn't matter which ones you're doing, but we're all going to be giving the same clans either positive or negative scores at the end of the game. But I lost my train of thought. So we're going to be playing. I'm playing the Infernals. Oh, so you've got 1 week to get your scores planted in so that they will count officially. And then when we do next week's game, I will be revealing the results of this current video's scores. And then you can always check that on the website too, because we'll be keeping a poster there of ongoing fluctuations of which different locations in the city we're playing for. Also, so this game, yeah, cool. All right. We're going to start in round 1. Move our marker to the first round. So all of us, myself and each of you, are going to get to pick 3 of these dice results, plus any that match your particular clan color. For me, every time a red meeple gets drawn, of which there are 3 of each of the 6 colors in the bag, we're going to cycle through the bag 6 times, and then the game is done. So every time the red devil meeples come up, I'll get to use that score, that dice number for free. And then in rounds 1 and 2, we'll be picking 3 of the remaining results. So here's our initial roll. I've got an 11 on the D12, a 4 on the D10, a 7 on the D8, 2 on the D6, and a 3 on the D4. Now time to pull the meeples. So first off, D4 is going to be a Celestial. Ferals for the D6. Oh, yellow Celestials again on the D8. None of mine out yet. All the Celestials are coming out in this very first round. And yellow, that's not yellow, that, my friends, is green. That is the Fey Folk. Well, that's interesting. Let me put on my old man glasses. So no free red picks for me this round, so I get to pick any 3 of these. So for me, let's see, a 2, we want sums over here in this corner, so the purple for me. I want to sum up every completed row, column, and the diagonal, so that's not particularly great. The green 11 on a D12 is good because we sum up all the pairs, so if I can get another 11 with that, that could be good, but it's paired up with a D8. So how this works, I'm going to take that. That's going to be my first choice. I'm going to set that over there so I remember it. I've done an 11, and I'm going to, oops, where's my Fey? That is, I'm looking at the wrong thing. 11. Actually, that's still really good. That's actually very, very good. So Fey for me is in this middle zone. I'm going to put an 11 there. That's great. Because it came, that 11 was derived from a 12-sided die, I get to recruit one little Fey Folk person. Now, keep in mind, if at some point green Fey Folk meeple is drawn to die, that means then the Fey score is going to be negative this round. But right now, with this game, right now, that's what I'm doing. All right, so I already know I'm probably not going to pick the purple feral. So I'm going to pick two of these celestials. And so for me, this game, the celestials have to start with small numbers equal to or greater than 1. So my smallest number here is a 3, which counts. So I'm going to do that. And it's off of the D4. So 3 is equal to or greater than 1. So that gives me a recruit. So then, I don't think these really matter, 4 or 7. It does not matter. So because this next square has to be equal to or greater than 2. And both 7 and 4 are that, so 4. So I will be getting 5 points at the end of the game if that's as far as the Celestials go. Or not me, the Celestials will be getting that. Or possibly -5 should they go negative in this game. So those were my 3 choices. That's all I get. We're still in round 1. We're going to re-roll those dice. We clear out all these meeples. And then, oh, let's roll the dice first. Roll the dice. 6, 3, 4, a couple of 6s. Whoops. What am I doing? 6, 7. There we go. I can identify the dice. Keep in mind, you feel free, obviously, to pause this video if you need more time to cogitate upon any particular moment. Totally fine, since we're not doing this live. But first off, with the D4 is going to be the green Fey. Next, blue Mystics. First we've seen them this game. Oh, there we go. That for me is going to be a free choice. Another purple feral. Ooh, 2 free choices. This hand, I'm going to get to pick all 5 results here, because for me, the 6 and the 7 both count, are free choices. So your home clan, whoever you're representing this game, you can always play the same one if you really like one, or I will be changing them up every week. I'll be playing a different home clan. So here, neither the 7 or the 6 come from a D4 or a D6. It's both a D8 and a D12. So the order I put these in doesn't matter. I'm just going to put 7 and a 6. They'll be added into that total at the end, which now gives me access to those 2 special abilities. So I can, at some point here, add +1 or subtract 1 from a dice roll. Then I'll have used up that special ability. I can also change the size of a die. So I could, I'm not going to, but if I really wanted that if I wanted that recruit right now, I could change this 7, scratch this out, and pretend this was the D6, shrink it down from a D8 to a D6, and then it would count as coming from a D6, and I'd get the recruit, but I'm going to save that for a time when I feel like I need it more. So those are my 2 free choices, so then I get all 3 of the rest. So let's just go here. The D10 gave me 4 for ferals. Let's find a little zone that has a D10 on it, which is right over here. It's a 4, not the greatest score, but because we're going to be summing these up. But there is a recruit for the ferals. Now, should the ferals get negativized this game by having one or more of their meeples die, every recruit is going to be a death for that clan, which will be all tabulated on the full scores, which again you can find on the website. So I've got those 3. Let's do the Mystics. The D6 gave us a 6. So I'm looking for pairs here. They have to be done left to right. So we're going to do the 6 with the D6, which gives a recruit. So I'm going to want, ideally, a 1 off of a D8 there. So that 6 minus 1 is a 5, and 5 times 3 would be 15. So we'll see if that happens at some point in this game. And then finally, our green Fey Folk is a 3 with a D4. 3 is a little higher than I'd like there, but it is the D4. So put 3 there, which gives us another recruit. So now the next one I put there has to be higher than a 3, so it has to be a 4 or higher, which comes off at, whereas the lower row here has to be a 10 or lower. It's got to be smaller than 11. And that's the round, or not the round, that's the hand. Meeples go. Let's roll the dice. 5 on the D10. That is a 9 on the D12. 3, 3, 1. Let's see what colors we get added onto this. Fey for the D4. Infernals, which is free for me. Mystics on the D8. Mystics again on the D5. And the Undead. First Undead on here. And there's only like 3 meeples left in here, so we'll be going into round 2 after this. So let's see. I get the free choice of a 3. It's on a D6, so I don't get a recruit, but I do now get color change a die, should I want to. Let's see. Mystics, did I get a 1? No. So I don't really want to subtract, even though it's a D8. 6 minus 3 is 3, times 3 is 9. Tempting maybe, but I could do a 5 on a D10. Really want a bigger number for there, so not great. I do have a +1 or -1, which I could use. And then let's look at the undead, shall we? We've got a 9 here. These are pairs, so I'm gonna have to get a 9 in the future. So that seems all right. Down here, that's a 9, which is from the D12, so it gets me a recruit. So I've done for myself. I'm gonna just move these off a little to the side just so I remember which ones I have used. That was my free choice. This is one of my 3. 1 here does not help me because 1 is not bigger than a 3 and is way too small to go after the 11. So I guess my other 2 choices are going to be the Mystics, 3 and a 5. You know what? It feels early in the game, but I am going to -1 on that. So cross that out. Cross it out. Turn that into a 2. So 6 minus 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. Not terrible, but that number did come from a D8. So there is a recruit. All those are worth either +1 or +2 or -2 points at the end of the game. And then a 5 off the D10. I could change the size of it. That's not really helpful. I could change the color of it. Do I want a 5 somewhere else? 5 on a D10. 5 on a D10. Could give it to them. You know what? Does not seem great for do not want a 5 there. So I think I'm going to use the color change. Turn this into Celestials. It's off a D10. I could change the size, but that's not really worth it. So 5 there, which is what we need. It has to be bigger than equal to or bigger than a 3. So, all right, there's my choices. That's what I got. All right, moving on. We're gonna roll the dice. Sometimes this funky D4 does that. Good Lord. There we go. 2, 4, 3, 9. Ooh, please be undead. And oh, and I've used my color change. And a 7. All right, there are only 3 meeples left in the bag, so this is going to push us into round 2. Undead on the D4, Undead on the D6, and finally Ferals on the D8. So we are now into round 2. So how this works. All the used meeples go back in the bag from where I dumped them. Shake them up, and before we finish our draws, we kill somebody. Oh, no, it's one of my people. No, little demon devil. Well, so now the Infernals are negative. Great. And I'm representing them. I'm going to drink some coffee. Cool. Well, let's finish off these draws. There's a Mystic and another Feral. Okay, well, no free choices for me. So let's see. Let's look at the Mystics. Ooh, a 9 from a D10. Now this is what we're talking about. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move them to that side. Maybe that's the way for me. That way you can still keep them organized, but for me, I'm keeping track of which ones I'm using. So 9 off of a D10, which gives us another Mystic Recruit. That's my one choice. So we're still picking the 3 dice. We're to round 2. Undeads, a 4 and a 2. Not super tempting. A 3 on a D8 and a 7 on a D12. You know what? We're going to do the 7 on the D12. Let's do that. The D12. That particular box can either give you a recruit from a D12 or a D8. That gives a recruit. And then a 3. You know, let's give the undead something. 4 off of a D6. So now I'll need a 4 over there, ideally off a D4, which gives them a recruit. And that's the turn. Oops. Leave the dead meeple there in the graveyard. Let's roll the dice. Got a 2, and a 3, and a 5, and a 6, and a 10. Cool. Drawing Fey, green Fey, purple Feral, blue Mystic, green Fey, yellow Celestial. First Celestial we've seen this round. Cool. Again, none of them are free, which means in the next draws, my last 2, my only 2 devils are going to come out. So 10 would qualify here for the, sure, I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just going to do that as my first choice. It's not a D10, so no recruit. I could change the size of it, but I'm going to wait on that. Mystic 5, not really high enough to be particularly interesting or low enough to help me there. So the Feral 3 off of a D6. Fey 2. No, the Feys are bad for me right now. Not good results. Because the 2 is not bigger than a 3, and the 6 is too much lower than the 11 to make me comfortable. So I could change the color, I could change the size of one of those. Again, not helpful. I still have to make 2 more. I have to make 2 more choices. You can't not choose things. So let's do the Feral 3. Seems off of a D6. Yeah, we'll put that in the middle. Why not? That's a D6. Gives a recruit. Should I do the blue Mystic with a 5? It's really not a great number. Or I could do the 6 there. Whoops, that was a 6. Sorry. Which was a 6. Here's the 6. Well, it is off a D10, so I'm going to risk it for the Fey there. 6, which gives him a recruit because it's off the D10. That was my third choice. Cool. Roll 'em. Oh, there it goes again. Gave us a 3, a 5, an 8, a 1 on the D10, and a 1 on the D12. Huh. Well, that's maybe helpful. Ooh. If the D12 comes out blue, I can't change the color of it. That's ideal for right there. Oh, there's only one more Mystic in here. Oh, freebie for me. Celestial Angels. Oh no, there's the Mystic. I wanted that. Down on the D12. Angels. And Infernals. Well, there's my 2 free choices. So, get a 3 but I don't get the recruit. Do get the ability. So what this one is combined 2 dice results. So you can't ever reuse the same dice result. So that's particularly useful in the later rounds when you're making fewer choices. And then 1 there, not a good number, but it's a D12. That's my first Infernal Recruit. So that's cool. And then I get a split. So what you can do with a split is at some point take a result, like maybe an 8, and turn it into a 4 and a 4, or a 3 and a 5, or a 1 and a 7. Both those numbers retain the same color, and they both count as D8s. So for recruitment sizing. Whew, so those are my 2. So I still get 3. I get to choose all 3 of these. So the 8 off of there seems really good. Where's the D8? There we go. 8 there. Because it's an 8. Get that recruit. Then 2 angels. Not so good. Oh wait. So here, ideally this would be a D12, but it's not. So this has to be 5 or higher, which it is. Now the real problem is this is a 1. So starting here has to be equal to or higher than an 8 in order to fill it in. There will be times when you can't use anything, so you cannot choose to not make choices, but you may be left without choices. So this currently doesn't have a legal way unless I can't split a 1. I can't. 1 is the lowest number we can be. You can't turn something into a 0. I need coffee. So I don't think there's anything I can do. I can't combine it with, I do have a free combination, but I've now used all those other things, so I can't combine, I can't reuse a die a second time. So that gets lost. So there you go. That happens. All right. This might take us into round 3. There's 6, 2, 8, 3, and 3. 8. Yep, we've only got 2 meeples left here. First up is Undead on the D4. And Fey Folk on the D6. So this does trigger us into round 3. So now we're only choosing 2 dice, plus any of the ones that are your clan's color, whichever your home clan is for this game. No death, because that's an odd number round. I'm going to shake those up. We're going to pull out Celestial. We're going to, on the D8, D10 is going to be Celestial. What are the chances the next one's Celestial? Nope. Feral. Okay, no free choices for me. But I only get 2 choices now, because we are into round 3. So only 2 of these. D8 off of D12. Sure, seems okay. That's 2 choices, 1 choice left. Does the 2 help me over here on the Undead? Not greatly. The 3 I can't use there because it has to be bigger than a 3. Celestials, I still don't have an 8 to go there. Unless I combine. You know what? This will count as 1 choice. I'm going to burn this, combine 2 dice, put the 6 and the 3 together, which makes it a 9. And that is greater than an 8, or equal to an 8. Greater than or equal to. It is not off a D12. So when you combine them, you can choose whichever size it counts as. That was yellow. Oh, but that's it. Those are my 2 choices. Only get the 2. So, cool. That's it. We good? There's the final setting. Always pause if you need, if I'm moving on too fast for you. So, let's clear out meeples. Roll the dice. 2, 4, 4, 1, 1. Not large numbers, but sometimes you want small numbers. Small numbers are good in certain places. Big numbers are good in other places. All right. Undead on the D4. Ferals on the D6. Undead on the D8. Mystics on the D10. And, ooh, there's mine. Infernals. Oh, it's a 1 again. Well, free choice. 1, no recruit, but I do get to upsize or downsize any die. So a good rule, so you can't, the die sizes don't loop around, so I can only I could upsize this, not back into D4. My phone's going off. So that was the free choice. Still get 2. Mystic 1. So yeah. We're gonna do that right here. Sadly, it's not off a D12, but there's a 1, so 9 minus 1 is 8 times 2 is 16. Cool. One more choice. Undead 4. Sure. Not gonna overthink this. Oh, well, not gonna overthink it. I just said that. Gonna do a 4 there. So now that's 8 points off the undead. Cool. Those are my choices. Moving on. So you see this game can clip along. Oh, come on, D4. There you go. Oh, 3, 3, 6, 10 on the 10, 8 on the 12. Just in case you're new to polyhedral dice, that is a 10, not a 0. And let's assign that. Mystic on D4. Infernal on the D6. Feral on the D8. Fey on the D10. And, whoops, Fey on the D12. So, this one is free choice. So I get a 3. But it's off a D6. So, my second recruit. Great. But now I do have a +1, -1 again. Mystic 3. So 8 minus 3 times 2. It's a possibility. The Fey. Ooh, I've got a 10. Oh, blarg. An 8. I can't say that. I've screwed the Fey up. Great. Well, let's see here. Those are not so usable for me. So how about Feral 6 off a D8. Feral 6 off a D8. I haven't completed anything over there yet. And the 3. Those really aren't usable. I don't really have great ways to manipulate them. I could do a splitter. How about we do that? I'm going to use the split off of the D10. Free choice, and my 2 choices. So, you can split it into 2 numbers. They both count as D10s. And they have to stay green, obviously. But they have to add up to 10. So, it has to be smaller than a 6. So I could do a 5 and a 5. Let's do that. 5 and a 5. They're both D10, so no recruits off of that. But cool. All right. Didn't hurt the Fey too badly. Clear those off. Roll them. I think we'll be redoing the bag, so it'll move us into round 4. So there's a 4 and a 1 and an 8 and a 2 and a 6. Yep, there's only 2 left in here. So it's off with Mystics and Celestials. Put all the rest back into the bag. But this does move us on to round 4, which is a death round. As you can see on there with a little stabby. It's the death round. So somebody's gonna die. So already, the Infernals, which I'm playing, are getting a negative score this game. But so are the Fey Folk. Great. So let's finish drawing these out. So it is possible. Oh no, what was that? That was a 6. Feral, Celestial, and Undead. All right, no free choices for me. Still 2 choices. So Undead 8 seems good. These can be filled in no particular order. Doesn't have to be. So we're just gonna do that. Put an 8 there. Ideally, it's paired up with a D8, which would also roll an 8. Celestial 1, no, because it needs to be a 7 or lower. So a 2 could count. About a Feral 6 off of a D8. I won't get a recruit, but let's do this. Let's do the 6 there. It's not a D4. Those are my 2 choices. But that completes a row. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 7 is 17 points there. So Feral's finally getting some points. Maybe they'll stay positive. We shall see. Moving on. What do we get there? A 2, a 6, 10, 11, 5. Cool. Nice, nice, nice. Starting off with Ferals. Undead. Angels. Devils. And mystics. It's a nice spread, all different colors. So I do get the free 10. Finally, a decent number over here. It's off a D10. I could, you know what? Why not? I'm going to downsize it to count this D10 as a D8, so I get the recruit. It's 2 more points at the end of the game. Oh, except they're negative. Oops. I'm doing this in pen. Too late. Great. So 2 actual choices. The 11 seems good. Sure. Why not? 11 there. And it's off of a D12. So they get another recruit. And my second full choice, does the 6 help me over here? Maybe. Am I better served with the 2? No. 5 on the Celestials. Sure, it does bump it up from 31 points to 42 points. Sure. Why not? What is that? A 5. Cool. That's it. Let's roll them. Oh, that D4. 2, 1, 10, 10, 5. Great. Feral. Fey. Undead. Fey. And, ooh, there's only 1 left in there. Infernals. Ooh, good. Yay. Another good number for me. Free choice. Another 10. It is not off the D10. So no recruit. Oh, but I do get another color change and another combine. So the 10 on this Fey isn't great, because this has to be lower than a 5. This has to be higher than a 5. If I put the 10 there, feels like we're not quite near enough the end of the game. So let's not do that. So how about Undead 5? Off of a D8. Can you turn it into an 8? No. You know what? Feels a little foolish. I'm going to put the 5 there. Don't get it. It's not a D4. And Feral 2. Sure. Off of a D4, which I've already crossed. Oh no, 2 there. At least they're getting lots of recruits. Or if they end up negative, if they end up occupying that final gravestone, then it could be a bunch of deaths for their clan. But we shall see. Oh, finished a row there. So 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 6 is 12. Cool. That's that. Moving on. Ooh, roll the dice first. 3, 2, 6, 5, 4. Last pick from the bag. This round, we move on to round 5, which is not a death round, but we are down to choosing one die on top of your free choices. So now is when choices get a lot more constrained. So no death. Oh, that's mine. Cool. Though it's negative this game. So maybe I don't feel so great about that. I feel like I'm letting my clan down. The poor devils. Alright, free choice. 2. It's not off a D12, so no recruit, but I do get another split. So now, in the future, when the red meeples are drawn, the red infernal meeples, I don't have any more numbers to fill out. So they just become recruits, or I can reactivate a used bonus. Unused bonuses at the end of the game are worth a point each, and every recruit is worth 2 points each. So weigh that as you will. So out of the rest of these, I get one single choice. 3 on a mystic, maybe, and it's off a D4, so maybe. Or a 6 on a mystic, not great. 5 on the celestial, it is equal to or higher than a 5. Oh, that's a legal move. That had to be more than a 7. I misread it. Oh no! I've cheated at my own game. Well, that little penalty, we'll cross that off. Say I turned the 5 into a 6. I don't know. We'll just lose another penalty to make up for it. That's how I'm going to deal with it. Penalize myself somehow. So a 5 there, off of a D10. Maybe. What was my choice here? 3. So 8 minus 3 is 5 times 2 is 10 points, plus 2 for the recruit. 12 points. Sure. Give it to the mystics. So that's 3. 8 minus 3 is 5. Times 2 is 10. There we have it. Cool. Oh no, I feel really badly. I have demonstrated poor gameplay by cheating at my own game. Some of you probably caught that, because you could see on there that was meant to be greater than or equal to a 7, not a 5. Oh well. Alright. 1, 3, 3, 8, 3. Ooh, lots of 3s. Undead. More undead. Angels. Pharaohs. And mystics. No free choices for me. So a single choice out of all of these. 8 is greater than or equal to or greater than 5, so I could put it there. Does the mystic 3 help me? Maybe. Depends on who I want to benefit. 8. Yes, we already said that. 1 and a 3 over here. I could combine. No, because combining doesn't help. 3 in there. Off a D10. You know what? Not overthinking it. Sure. 3, D10. That, so I've completed. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, plus 6 is 17. Oh, but it's also completed this column, so 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 3 is 13. Alright. Pharaoh's doing pretty well. So as long as they don't go negative, they'll be happy. Alright. 1, 7, 6, 8, 7. Alright. Fey. Celestial. Fey. Pharaoh. Pharaoh. Ooh, 1 in there. So we'll be going into the last round after this. 1 single choice. None of them. Oh, and I think it'll be my. I'll get the devil. Still going negative. 7. No, it has to be. Oh, it's too big. There has to be less than or equal to 5. Oh wait, no, I didn't cheat. It's less than. These are less than or equal to. Wow, don't know my own game. No cheating. What did I cross out? I'll get that back. I'll get that back. One choice. One choice. So the 5 to celestial 4 is less than or equal to a 5. So I could do that. Just who do I want to? You know what? Let's close out the ferals. Let's give them that 8. No recruit. Let's have a d6. So it's 16 plus 6 is 22. Right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 there. So we've fully zoned them out. As long as they survive this next draw, it'll be great. Let's do the dice first. Then we'll see the death. 3. 1, 2, 1. Not the small numbers. Everybody goes back in the bag. Now, last round. Round 6. 1 choice plus your color. First off, death to the Celestials. 3 of these teams, 3 of these clans are negative this game. Great. It's great. It's just great. Alright. So, cool. Oh, I have to draw the meeples. Just looking at the dice and wondering why they don't mean anything to me. There's my free choice. And there we have it. So my free is a 6, but because I filled all that up, I'm just going to be simple. I'm just going to take a recruit. The rest of them. These don't count. Or, I mean, I don't get to do anything with them because I've filled up the feral zone entirely. So, undead. Do I want a 1? No. How about a 3? Also no. How about I combine them? I've got some color changing. I've got combines. I've got splits. Nothing's big enough to really split. Okay, you know what? So, this also demonstrates a little rule here. I'm going to use this last combine to combine the 3 and the 2 into a 5 to get me this 5 over here. They're going to keep the color. I mean, I guess you'd define, you'd choose which one it is, but I'm doing it with them. So the color is gray. It is a D4 because the combined die, it's whichever master die it is, or whichever one it's attached to, whichever color it's attached to. So this is counting as a D4, which doesn't help me, but I've turned it into a 5. So that gives me 10 points there. Cool. So that was my choice. All right. Moving on to the last stretch. Another 1, 6, 5, 10, 3. Clocking along. Mystics. Undead. Mystics. Oh, shit. What was it? That was a 5. I think it was a 5. Well, that's what I get for being a little spazzy. Ooh. Alright. Free choice of the 10, which now I get the big numbers, but I'm just going to take the recruit. So a mystic. Do I have a small mystic number? Oh, yes. So this is going to be my 1 choice. Put it there. And it is off the D4. So they get a recruit. So 11 minus 1 is 10, times 2 is 20. And their score is positive this game. Ferals are positive, and undead are positive. If ever 2 of the same meeples, you would never do 3, we'd redraw in that case. But if 2 meeples of the same color die, that clan will go, its score will be negative and then doubled. So double negative. All right, here we go. 2, 6, 6, 4, 3. Angels. Fey. Fey. Oh, I mean, it's the last 2. So this is the final choice. Ferals and Celestials. So there we go. This is the end of the game, folks. I get 1 choice. None of them are free for me. A single choice. So who do I want to give it to? Both of those yellows are smaller than equal to or smaller than a 5. That's no good because I've filled them up. Fey. A 6 is not smaller than a 5, but a 6. Ooh, you know what? I'm not going to overthink this. That's it. 6, which is bigger than a 5, which comes from a D8, which gives them a recruit. Oh no! So that means 4 of their people die at the end, in the full tabulation of this. All right. So that's it. All right, let's do the scoring, shall we? I might actually need my phone so that I can add stuff up properly. So let's just do my home first. So I've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I've got 5 recruits. That's 10 points there. I have unused 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those are unused, so that's 4 points there. I'm going to add this up. 7 plus 6 is 7 plus, whoops, plus 6 plus 3, 3 is another 6. 1, 1 is 2. 13, 23, 24, 25. So 46 there. So then all of it is 46, 56 plus 4 is 60. This is a negative 60. Great for the Infernals. The clan I was supposed to be doing good things for this game. Feels great. Alright, over here, the highest zone we got to in the Yellow Celestials on this top line is 42 points, 1 recruit, so 42 plus 2 is 44. So they've got a negative 44. Over here in this middle zone for the Fey on my sheet, add these up. 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 6, so 14 there. 11 plus 6 is 17, plus 5 is 22. So 22 plus 4, that's 32, 36. Ooh, 38, 40, 42, 44. Ooh, negative 44 for the Fey. So, oh, which also is the Celestials, also negative 44. Infernals still, coming from me anyways, negative 60. Great. It's really great. Alright, over here, for the Mystics, we add all these together, all the completed pairs. We got 12 plus 10 is 22, 32, 42, 52 plus 6 is 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, 70. Ooh, seems pretty good. Positive 70 for the Mystics. Over here on the Undead, let's see. It's the sum of each completed pair. So I've got a 10, I've got an 8, and nothing else. Oh, positive 18, 20, 22. Not so great for the Undead. They're looking a little ragged. Not as ragged as the negative scores, I guess. At least it's positive. And then finally, oops, everything over here. So 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. Forgot to add that up. That's 15. So let's do this math. 17 plus 13 plus 17. This is going to be pretty big. Plus 15 plus 12 plus 13 plus, what is that? Ooh, 22 plus 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 in recruits. 123. Holy cow. That's pretty good. So that, folks, is our very first game of Bigbad City Domination. If my score were the only score, that would mean the Pharaohs come out way on top this game with 123. In second would be the Mystics with 70, and in third, the Undead with 22. Then tied for fourth, going negative, are both the Fey and the Celestials, and then in last place, fifth, is the Infernals, who I was hoping to benefit in a positive way this game. Anyway, that's it. So, when you're recording your scores, if you want them to count officially, get them into the comments down below, cutting and pasting the exact way to enter your results into your comments. That way, when our software scans all those results, it accurately identifies everything and allocates the scores appropriately. And then you will have contributed to the very first week of domination in Big Bad City. Check us out at humanflavor.com. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Cheers.